Hi, I'm Phil Fournier, production manager on Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, and you're watching Eurogamer.
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Hey guys, Ian Hickton here. Now, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, the standalone 80s action movie themed spin-off of Far Cry 3, was dismissed by many as an April Fool's joke thanks to the timely launch of a very peculiar web-based teaser site and a rather vague gameplay-free trailer. But I can confirm it's totally real and like totally gnarly, dude, because I had half an hour's hands-on with it. And after I'd had my fill of neon-tinted sci-fi action, I decided to get you as much information as I could on the game by speaking to one of the homeboys who made it. So Phil Fournier, production manager on Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, give us the overview of what this insane game is all about.
Distract unsuspecting enemies with your D20, nerd.
So basically you're playing as Sgt Rex Power Colt, Mark IV Cyber Commando sent to a remote island to basically save the world. So there's a rogue cyborg army and you're there to investigate. It's definitely open world, so you'll find again encounters, you know, all that sort of good stuff that's emergent gameplay that you saw in FC3. It's definitely going to be there in Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. The cool thing is that we threw a dragon in there. You know how we had tigers and bears interacting with NPCs and all that sort of stuff. Now we got dragons that shoot lasers from their eyes. So just imagine all the sorts of situations that you run into. It's pretty crazy, pretty fun.
And does it tie in with Far Cry 3 and Jason Brody's adventure in any way?
In terms of story, no, but definitely gameplay-wise, you'll be familiar if you play the game. You'll be familiar with the same systems. We have a bunch of animals. We've got some garrisons, well, outposts that we call now garrisons. So definitely it's the same, but we really wanted to, you know, paint with a different brush, if I can say.
The game is a digital download. Has that had any impact on the size of the open world experience?
It's definitely smaller than Far Cry 3. We had to respect, I think it's 2 gigs of data, but still you can get lost in that world, you know, like I was saying, encounters, we got a bunch of collectibles to collect, garrisons, all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely, it depends on your playstyle. You can just run through it and do the story missions, but if you want to get lost in that world and really explore all that's available to you, you can spend a lot of time in that world for sure.
So does that mean there will be plenty of hidden areas and research facilities to find and explore like on Far Cry 3's Rook Island?
We brought back temples, again, collectibles, the caves, all the stuff that worked quite well in Far Cry 3, we brought back. But again, we just wanted to be a different universe. You know, you see the graphics over there. It's like it's neon, it's pink. You know, we're kind of tired of the green. As good as it looks, we wanted to have like blue, purple, and all that neon colors.
Obviously, one of the biggest wow factors for Blood Dragon is the inclusion of the dragons. While they look a lot smaller than at first I thought they would, they're around the same size as a small elephant rather than a T-Rex, they're still pretty scary and very powerful. But what's the story on their origin? Why are cybernetic dragons loose on this island?
I think they just came, you know, maybe a scientific gone wrong, I don't know exactly. But really think of the tiger that we had in FC3 and just scale it up a notch, and that's what we got. So it's really, it's a toy for you. Whenever you kill a cyborg, you can loot or rip out their cyber hearts and use them as lures to pull a dragon near another encampment or a garrison. They shoot lasers again from their eyes. It's just amazing with sort of like having a dinosaur pet. You know, everybody wanted to have a dinosaur pet as a kid, and that's exactly what we're bringing.
And how do we encounter these mecha beasties? Do we have to perform certain missions to summon them for boss encounters maybe?
No, you don't summon them. You'll find them in the world, exactly like you'll find other animals. We got a cyber panther, cyber sharks, robo dogs, cyber crocs, plenty of other ones that I invite you to just jump in the world and you'll see them for yourself.
You've mentioned garrisons, which are the Blood Dragon equivalent of outposts. Will there also be Blood Dragon versions of the hunting and wanted dead side missions?
Definitely, it's all those systems that work quite well in Far Cry 3 and that people seem to appreciate. We just wanted to bring back. So when you unlock a garrison, you'll get those side quests. you know, it's always about saving. Well, now, yeah, we twisted them around. Instead of being just wanted quests, it's basically hostage situations. So we've got those poor scientists that are basically held hostage by the Omega Force, so the Cyborg Army. And your quest is basically to go and save them stealthily, ideally. But you can, again, take out the Terror 4000, which is the minigun, and just wreak havoc on everybody.
The minigun then is a powerful new weapon, but what can we expect from the rest of the weapons available to Rex?
So we brought back, we wanted to have like 80s and 90s like action movie weapons, signature weapons. So we don't have the full roster, we just scaled it down a bit to really focus our attention on that. So yes, we got the Terror 4000, which is basically a minigun. We've got an assault rifle that shoots lasers. We've got a sniper rifle that you can equip with explosive rounds. We've got a shotgun that you can customize to have 4 barrels instead of 1. So I mean, yeah, the weapon roster is super fun. It gives you a lot of opportunities to play as you want, basically.
Any bows?
We've still got a bow, but obviously it's bright blue, like the poster right there. So.
How about transport? It's open world, so there must be some cyber versions of Far Cry 3's vehicles. Can you list a few of them?
We got the glider, the Zodiac, the 4x4, how do you call it?
Quad bike?
Yeah, the quad bike, exactly. Just with a different paint job, chrome, black, Omega Force logos, neons, perfect.
Let's talk about the hero, Sgt Rex Power Colt, who's played by legendary 90s action movie star Michael Biehn. At the very start of the game, you find out that Rex has most of the abilities that Jason Brody had to learn during his time on the island, like chaining together takedowns and being able to drag bodies into cover. What kind of skill trees and rewards then will Rex have available to him as the game progresses?
School's out for summer. School's out forever.
Rex, being a Mark IV Cyber Commando, he doesn't need a skill tree. He basically knows everything, and you know he's been programmed by the best. So yeah, he starts off with a bunch of the skills that Jason had in FC3. You're right, and along the way you'll earn cyber points, and you'll unlock a couple of other ones, but it's more automatic.
Okay, so what about crafting? There's a whole host of cyber animals. Can we cut them open and make robo hats out of their hides?
Again, cyber commandos don't craft. Yeah, he doesn't need to. He's uber powerful, so no, we took that aside and really focused on the garrisons and the quests and all that sort of stuff.
Because I'm immature as hell, I found all the cheesy dialogue and bad language hilarious.
Let's show them how cyber commandos get it done.
Mark 4 style, motherfucker!
But one of the coolest things I saw was the ability to flip people off at the touch of a button.
Fuck you.
How do players actually activate that?
That's basically when you miss a melee attack, you can flip people off, and you know, we just have fun with that. Again, this game was about, you know, for the team, it was just a pleasure, and we just let loose. Just imagine, like, you do a headshot on and you just flip him off right after. I mean, it's good times.
He was open-minded.
Damn straight it's good times. What a stupidly wonderful touch of 80s macho bullshit. Love it. Finally, Phil, having been on the dev team for Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon since the start, you must have had to research a load of 80s movies. Which one was your favourite?
Oh, that's a tough one. My favorite 80s comic, I'll go with the comic, is Mask. So I don't know if you're familiar with Mask, the comic. For me, that was exactly what we done for that. It just put me back in that zone, and we had all of the toys. Everybody brought their own toys for those era at work, so we could get inspirations from. So yeah, Mask is definitely my favorite.
So would we ever see, is there going to be a possibility of a Rex Colt action figure?
I wouldn't count on it. That would be cool. I'd get it for sure. But yeah, you know, you never know.
Compiling the motherboard!
Well, I've got my cyber fingers crossed, Phil. I'd love a Rex Power action figure on my shelf. That would be crucial to the max. I absolutely fell in love with Blood Dragon, from its 8-bit style cutscenes through to its incredible 80s movie homages. It really seemed to me like a passion project rather than a rushed piece of nonsensical, try too hard to be wacky DLC. The fact that the game is basically just Far Cry 3 with a pair of luminous pink toweling socks on may be a bit of a concern for people who have Far Cry fatigue from playing too much of last year's stellar sandbox shooter. The humour may be too lowbrow for some, and the 80s nostalgia may may turn off players who are simply too young to remember that era of movies. But for people like me who have fond memories of the original Terminator or The Running Man or Predator or basically any 80s action classic, then there will be something here which will rub your nostalgia button and make you smile. Yes, the game is just a reskin of Far Cry 3, and yes, below the surface it doesn't really do anything new past the introduction of the dragons, but if you are one of the many fans of Far Cry 3 who've been crying out for more, then Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is righteous to the max. Want more exclusive interviews and early gameplay footage from all of the biggest and best upcoming games? Then don't forget to click that annotation on screen and subscribe to Eurogamer. It's most triumphant.
Adult and children sold separately.